Okay, whether you're a die-hard soccer fanatic or you just happen to love some high-stakes political drama, we are diving into a completely unprecedented decision today that has absolutely flipped the script for the World Cup knockout stages. We're talking about a massive collision of on-pitch drama, closed-door political lobbying, and total tactical chaos. Just days before a huge last 16 clash, the entire narrative has been rewritten, and honestly, the implications stretch way beyond the football pitch.
So in today's Explainer, we're unpacking one of the wildest controversies in World Cup history. We'll be looking at the red card reversal, the political lobbying behind it, Belgium's outrage, and finally the massive tactical shift this brings to the game. Let's get right into it.
It is the absolute central mystery hanging over the entire tournament right now. How exactly does a player with a straight red card, a sanction that typically cannot even be appealed under standard FIFA rules, suddenly get cleared to play in a must-win World Cup match? Well, to figure that out, we really have to look at the timeline.
Part 1. The Red Card Reversal, From Disaster to Reprieve.
Let's track this chaotic 72-hour window. On Wednesday, USA striker Folarin Balogun goes in for a seemingly innocuous challenge on Tarek Muharrimovic. Now, the referee initially doesn't even call a foul, but VAR steps in. Slow-motion replays show Balogun's foot landing on the defender's ankle, and bam, straight red card for serious foul play. That means a mandatory one-match ban. But then, for the next few days behind the scenes, reports start swirling that President Trump made 3 direct phone calls to FIFA, elevating this from a standard foul to a literal presidential matter. Fast forward to Sunday, and the footballing world is just stunned. FIFA unexpectedly announces Balogun's suspension is lifted. He is cleared to play against Belgium.
Moving to Part 2. Trump, FIFA, and Article 27, the political lobbying.
Following the reports of those direct phone calls, Donald Trump posted this exact statement on Truth Social, celebrating FIFA's decision. It is incredibly rare for a U.S. president to weigh in on a World Cup refereeing decision, but he publicly confirmed his approval of FIFA's highly unusual move to reinstate the American striker.
But listen, it wasn't just phone calls. The White House World Cup Task Force, chaired by Andrew Giuliani, reportedly launched a formal legal challenge, and this is where it gets highly technical. Their challenge specifically targeted how VAR slow-motion replays were used. Why? Well, because slow motion often makes a tackle look significantly more malicious than it actually was in real time. By removing the context of full speed and natural momentum, it can suddenly look like a targeted attack. If this legal precedent actually holds up, it could fundamentally open the floodgates from multiple challenges against the disciplinary process in the future.
So how did FIFA actually justify this legally? Because remember, you can't appeal a straight red. While instead, they leaned on Article 27 of the FIFA Disciplinary Code. This is a very little-known clause granting their judicial committee the authority to fully or partially suspend a disciplinary measure. It basically acts as an executive veto over referee decisions on the pitch. Think of it as a bureaucratic get-out-of-jail-free card for this specific match. They didn't erase the red card. That stays on Balogun's record for a 1-year probationary period, but they suspended the ban for this crucial showdown.
Which brings us to Part 3. Precedents of the loophole. History repeating.
Believe it or not, this isn't the first time Article 27 has been deployed at this elite level. If we compare Balogun's situation to 2025, we see a fascinating parallel. Cristiano Ronaldo had a 3-game ban stemming from a red card against the Republic of Ireland, reduced down to just 1 game using this exact same clause. That reduction allowed him to play in Portugal's opening World Cup group games. And the timing? That reduction happened shortly after Ronaldo made a visit to the White House as a guest of the president. History definitely has a way of repeating itself here.
Part 4. Belgium's outrage and retaliation. A furious opponent.
Unsurprisingly, the nation set to face the USA in Seattle is not taking this unprecedented reversal quietly. The Royal Belgium Football Association released a fiery statement expressing their absolute astonishment at the ruling. And in the usually polite, heavily restrained world of football diplomacy, astonished is a heavy word. They didn't mince words, making it incredibly clear that they view this as a direct breach of the established rules of the tournament.
Belgium's grievances are pretty multifaceted. First, just on a purely practical level, imagine studying for weeks for a massive career-defining exam, only to have the syllabus completely changed the night before. That is Belgium's manager, Rudi Garcia, right now, who is left with barely 24 hours to completely adjust his tactical preparations after building a game plan assuming the USA's top scorer would be absent. Second, the Belgian FA claims FIFA completely ignored its own regulations, specifically citing Circular No. 16 from May 2026, which explicitly reaffirmed the automatic nature of red card suspensions. Because of this, they're currently investigating legal action to protect the fundamental principles of fair play.
Finally, Part 5, Pochettino's tactical shift, the on-pitch impact.
Putting the legal drama and the outrage aside for a second, let's look at the grass, because this reinstatement completely rewrites the tactical matchup. U.S. manager Mauricio Pochettino is expected to shift to an aggressive 3-5-2 formation. Having Balogun available means he doesn't have to rely on backup strikers who might alter the flow of the attack. Instead, he can pack a heavy punch up front alongside Christian Pulisic. This directly challenges Belgium's 4-3-3, which is a system built for a slower, methodical game of keep-away led by Kevin De Bruyne and Jeremy Doku.
So it sets up this fascinating tactical chess match. The USA is going to attack the wings. Pochettino will likely utilize Serginho Dest and Antonee Robinson to create passing triangles on the flanks. And why do that? Because Belgium's center backs, Brandon Meckel and Arthur Theate, are known to be quite passive. They prefer to hold their space rather than roaming out to win the ball. On the flip side, Belgium wants central control. They average about 57% possession and want to dictate the tempo through Yuri Tielemans and De Bruyne. But as Senegal showed us in the previous round, Belgium really struggles to defend against wide overloads.
And the ultimate key to all this tactical planning is what we can call the Balogun effect. He scored 3 goals in 3 starts this tournament, but honestly, it's not just his finishing. His elite movement acts as a fulcrum. He holds off defenders and acts like a massive magnet. When he drags Belgium's entire defense out of position and shifts their focus completely onto him, it blows the doors wide open for players like Pulisic, Weston McKennie, and Malik Tillman to exploit all that empty space in the final third. That is the true immeasurable value he brings to this setup.
As these two nations step onto the pitch in Seattle, surrounded by the noise of legal threats, political lobbying, and absolute astonishment from the Belgians, the atmosphere is going to be electric. But it really forces us to ask, will an off-pitch political lifeline be the spark that fuels a historic American victory, or will the sheer weight of this controversy cause them to collapse under the spotlight? I guess we're about to find out.